We're married for very close to 25 years. Now she wants an open marriage. I hope you all enjoying this long story. Okay, let's go on to story. We need to talk, she said. And after that, I was only half listening. There was a roaring in my ears and the room looked out of focus. My chest was tight and I was having trouble breathing. I was dreading this. We are Mike and Gail. And if you were looking for the cliched couple who you would expect to be having this type of conversation, we would have ticked pretty much every box. Mid to late 40s seconds and recent empty nesters married for very close to 25 years. We were not supermodels, but we had kept trim and fit. Gail still attracted looks from men of my age whenever we went out. Now that our son had left, my wife had decided she wanted an affair. I said it was a cliche, but it is a cliche for a reason. Having seen the signs, I had been going all out by making lots of suggestions to try to spice things up. Date nights where we would dress up and have a romantic meal in a restaurant. Weekends away in a hotel, visiting a cinema, cooking her favorite food for her and having a night in with a rom-com and cuddling on the sofa. All suggestions had been unceremoniously shot down. So I had been expecting this, but it still hit me hard. The only part that surprised me was when she complained about my spending so many hours in the office. Apparently this had caused her to doubt my feelings for her. This standard line of self-justifying bullshit, even though she knew I was doing it to build up our savings for a special occasion. And although I was as eager to make love as ever and she was the one who kept refused, saying she was too tired. Yes, that old one. That was the point where fear turned to anger and I launched into my planned response. So I said, "You want an open marriage?" Her jaw dropped slightly. "I want the freedom to explore my 53 actuality before it becomes too late. I want to experience all the things I missed by marrying young. I want to grow 53, surely, and bring those new experiences back to settle down and grow old with the man I love." "The man you love? Who's that then?" She started to say you but saw my face and bit off a reply. I was not sure at this point whether she had already been seeing someone behind my back. If she hadn't, I wanted to point out what she would be risking if she had already started. I wanted to make her suffer before I divorce her. Childish, I know, but having been aware of the signs for a while now, it had started to eat at me. I don't think our marriage would survive that. But if you insist on carrying on with your plan, I will not sit meekly at home waiting for you to return after you have just been dumped by another man. If you go out and have 53 weeks with other people, then I must have a freedom to do the same. I continued to push. Do you intend moving out and renting an apartment? No. This is my house. That last bit was almost a shout. Our house, dear. In which case, we will have to arrange a fair way of paying for it. I won't make all the payments while you use our money to pay for dates and hotel rooms with your lover. Why would I need to pay for hotel rooms? Because you won't be able to bring him back to our shared house. I will not be humiliated in my own home. And if you try to do that, I will immediately file for divorce. She turned and stormed from the room. This had not gone the way she had expected. She normally hits me with a statement of what we are going to do, and I just go along with it, but I was prepared for this. My sudden assertiveness was out of character, and that had surprised her. I can sometimes be a bit slow working things out, but I am not stupid. Hold that thought. It will come back later to bite me. Update 15 or so minutes later, she returned. Before I could say anything, she started. "I think we can make this work. You are the only man I will ever love. And I am the luckiest woman in the world to have you love me. But 53x is not the same as love. I feel I have missed out on 53x no matter how much our love means to me. I need this short break to explore my 53 cool side. After which I will return to you and become the best wife you could possibly imagine. I will bring that back to our marriage and give you the best 53x of your life. Well, in my book, 53x and betrayal kill love. But what do I know? I am only her husband." She paused for a couple of seconds and continued. "I can see your point about an open marriage being the only fair way. For my part, I will be very discreet. You will never see or know who I have chosen. I will never talk about them or compare the two of you. I will be coming home a bit later. Some nights, but I will be showered and changed before I talk to you. There will be no trace of what has happened, and I will expect the same consideration from you when you find a lover. Other than that, 53x between us would be just the same as it is now. To all outsiders, we would just be our normal married selves. She had been thinking of her tactics during the last 15 minutes, but this was laying on the carrying on as normal a bit thick. The rest would have been her calculation that she could do some quick ducking and then come back, call sorry and weepy and reconcile before I had a chance to cheat on her. So she got a shock when I replied, "I am not taking you to your company dance next week. Your boyfriend should be doing that." "Oh, sorry, I forgot. Tom will be taking his wife, won't he?" All the color drained from her face, and I knew I had guessed right. It was a shame because I had met Tom a couple of times, and quite like the man. Not anymore, and if I know, you can bet most of the people you work with also know. So much for it being discreet and secret. If you think I am going to be there while everybody either sniggers behind my back or gives me those pitying, little does he know looks, then you are taking me for a fool, as for a 53x would be just the same. I can fully believe that, as we have not had 53x for the last couple of months and we haven't kissed or had any intimate contact for much longer than that. It has not been a couple of months since we have had 53x. Maybe not for you, but it has been for me. I am moving into the second bedroom. From now on, if our marriage survives, and I doubt it will, we will only get back together after you get full ST tests. I do not intend to catch anything from you. Now, she really did look stunned before she could say anything else. I left the room and went to my new bed. I was finally convinced that she had been cheating. And I was not only putting the knife into our marriage, but also giving it a twist. Update 1: a couple of days of not talking later. What has happened to our bank account? Good. You have received your new bank details. That our shared account is still there and both our salaries are paid into it as they always have been. We will pay all of the running expenses for the house out of it, repairs and maintenance, gas and electricity bills, etc. After that, what is left is split equally between us as spending money. What if I don't want to do that? Then we sell the house and live a. We were mortgaged to pay for Jason's university and took another loan to finance his wedding. After we have paid those off, the equity will not be much and the apartments we could afford to rent would not be nice. You said you wanted to carry on living here. Have you changed your mind? She thought it over for a few seconds. She probably realized that if we split the remaining pay equally between us, she would get the better deal as I was bringing in more than her. All right, that will have to work. She would find out later that she was wrong. Update to next day. What's with all the new furniture? I am redecorating the second bedroom. You have the master bedroom, which is furnished to a high standard. I am just bringing the second bedroom up to match who is paying for it. It comes out of household maintenance. That's not fair. It is only you who is sleeping in there. It is not a shared room. I let you have the master bedroom because it is bigger and has more wardrobe space for all your clothes. If you want to save the money, we can swap and you can have the second bedroom. And I will have the master. Want to do that? But not. She walked away, muttering under her breath. I did pick up her saying this is getting ducking. Ridiculous. Update 3: 2 days later. I have cancelled your gym membership. What? Why would you do that? That is just being petty. True. The gym is in my firm's building, and I don't want you there. It isn't a big deal. There are plenty of gyms nearer to where you work, and they all have new member offers where they almost give the first 3 months away. So it won't be a big drain on your finances. Anyway, you keep saying this is only temporary. If we get back together, I will reinstate it. I also won't be servicing your car. Admittedly, I don't do much as it is one of those computer-controlled engines, but you will now have to take it in to get anything done. You wanted a flash modern coupe and they will always cost more to run. I know you looked on it as a way of advertising how well we were doing, and I can sympathize with that, but at the end of the day, if you want to keep it, you will have to pay for it. Lots of small changes. Update for later that month. What has happened to my money? Not quite a scream of rage, but not that far off. Well, there was the cost of the bedroom furniture. I fucking know that, you moron. I have looked at our salaries and the amount you are paying and has gone down drastically. You cheating base. Remember saying that part of our problem was my working too much? I decided you were right and stopped doing it. So of course, my salary has dropped. You are doing that work to save up for a 25th anniversary cruise. Oh, right. You wanted me to keep on working extra hours to pay for our big holiday, and then you also wanted to use it as an excuse for our marriage breaking down and forcing you to have an affair. Talk about wanting to have it both ways. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As we no longer have a 25th wedding anniversary, we have a new open marriage. Let's see if we can celebrate that in 25 years' time. I thought this may have been a step too far, and we would now erupt into open warfare. That did not happen. But she did start to flaunt her dating a bit more with each passing day. That was not unexpected, but when I refused to react, she started getting more brazen about what she was doing. The next annoyance would use that against her. Later that week, she looked annoyed. Why is there no food in the house? I have just gone to cook myself something and there is nothing in the fridge or freezer. You have not been coming home until late, so rather than eat alone, I have been eating in the firm's canteen. The food isn't bad and there are people there I can talk to, unlike coming home to eat alone while you are out sledding. She gave me a filthy look but did not rise to the bait. I can't afford to eat out every night, so I am going to have to eat at home more often, then buy some food and cook it. I won't be eating it by this time. My daily routine had changed. I no longer stayed at home in the morning having breakfast with my wife. I got up early, put on my sweats and drove to the gym as it was in my office building and I was out the house early. There was no traffic and my commute time was drastically reduced. After exercising, I showered and shaved and went to the canteen for breakfast and then up to my office. I had started to look better. I gained a small amount of muscle and had definitely improved my posture and energy levels. When the bosses came in, I was already at my desk looking fresh and groomed, and they noticed and actually started to talk to me. I got a small pay rise. The funny part was I had previously been working harder for longer hours, but they all left too early to notice. Gail did not join a gym and put on a few pounds. To be honest, it looked good on her, but she started complaining that her clothes no longer fit. She had always loved her designer clothes, and this was a big blow to her that I was looking better, only made her mood worse. Then something totally unexpected happened. Final update. One of the girls from work stopped by my desk and asked me about my open marriage. I don't know where she had heard it from, as I had not mentioned it to anyone.